Hey there guys, Fran Ramsden here, Ramsden Late Fitness, and we're going to do a video that I've promised to an individual, and I just haven't had time to get to it yet, but I'm going to bang it out right now. Let's go ahead and read the question. Question comes in, it says, how often have you referred a client to physical therapy? I'm just curious if you have patients with musculoskeletal issues who you think would benefit more from being evaluated and treated by a PT before continuing any sort of exercise program that you might have started with them. Um, there's a lot of good questions in there, and let's just start right off the bat. And how many clients have I referred? And the answer is a whopping 0. Now, that is not because I have some hatred or disdain towards physical therapy. I simply have not had the opportunity to do so. At Ramsden Leaf Fitness, I have a pretty thorough screening process in which we go over your health history, injuries, and any sort of limitations that you may have right in the beginning of our consultation series. So to make sure that you are fit for exercise, and if not, you're going to have to get medical clearances and have your doctor clear you, essentially. Now, the best question in here is talking about whether I think it's more beneficial for a client with musculoskeletal issues to see a PT or if I could treat them myself. And I think, in general, a personal trainer, and the way our industry is right now, is that they should most definitely refer to a physical therapist. However, I'm going to do almost a complete 360 on that for myself and say that I feel, through personal experience and education, that I'm completely qualified to train people with certain limitations. Now, if somebody comes in and can't perform any sort of exercise, I don't have the tools to aid them, whereas somebody in the physical therapy facility is going to have bars and different kind of machines that I have zero access to. But just because somebody has a musculoskeletal issue doesn't mean I'm automatically just going to refer them outside. I feel through my education I've learned that I'm more than able to train those individuals and actually give them success. As a matter of fact, I've trained recently 2 individuals, one who had multiple sclerosis and another who was coming off a rotator cuff surgery. So in both those instances, those give the trainer very unique challenges. Each is going to have their limitations. You need to be trained a certain way, and in general, I think most personal trainers I would have zero clue how to do that. And but through my education from the University of Pittsburgh and my ongoing research that I do outside of that, I try to make sure I stay up to date on the latest research and those kind of things. I feel I'm completely qualified. I actually went on to train both individuals. For instance, the lady with multiple sclerosis had a tough time just walking. There'd be days where she would have to cut the grass at her house, and she would split it up between 2 days. Her front yard one day, her backyard the other day, just because her legs would be too weak. They would give out, and she just wasn't confident enough to do it all at once. And I took her in as a client, and we trained her starting simple, and then building our way up to some more advanced things to the point where we really strengthened those legs and gave her the confidence to go out and do that. And she actually, by the end of my time with her, was doing both front and backyard in one go at it. And she actually was so funny for all you young teenagers out there. She was looking forward to cutting her grass because it gave her joy and the ability to know that she could do it and that she was getting those results from training in the gym with me. With the rotator cuff, coming off surgery, so lack of any sort of range of motion was a big issue, and strength. So a shoulder press coming into it, we weren't able to fully extend that arm above the head. So we started small, using bands, lighter weight, and slowly but surely, we worked up to the point that we were actually lifting decent-sized dumbbells and doing full-range shoulder presses. So if somebody is qualified in personal training, there's no reason that they should be scared to train people who have limitations and injuries. Physical therapy and personal training are very similar, in my opinion. I thought about doing PT for a long time. I didn't want to be limited to people with injuries or people with very bad limitations. I wanted to be able to train a wide variety of people, and my job now allows me to do that. But we're pretty much the same thing. Where we're trying to we use the tools of exercise to really help people advance from where they're at now to a place where they're better, where they have more results, they're able to do more things. So like I said, I really have no issue with PT. I haven't had the opportunity to refer to anybody. I haven't had somebody walk in with severe limping or any sort of nerve and muscular imbalances, anything like that, to the point that I felt that I was completely incompetent and felt like I couldn't train them. And that brings me to my last point about PT is I absolutely respect the hell out of the education required to become a PT. Something you guys don't have to deal with is those wannabe physical therapists. That should be a non-issue in your field. With having, most of you guys have to go for 6 years to get your master's, spend time volunteering in a facility, maybe work to get your doctorate. I mean, you guys put so much time and education into yourself that you guys should be well confident that the people around you and the people in your industry in general are going to be competent. And something I don't have here in personal training. If you're 18 years old and you have a high school diploma, you can become a personal trainer. Go take one of those online certification classes and have it, and no one's gonna know, because at the end of the day, next to your name, you can put those abbreviations of your certification, and no one knows the difference between the two. So, they're in my field, I'm a lot more skeptical about personal trainers than I am about physical therapists. So, if you have any more additional questions about that or want me to clarify any of my points, by all means, just go ahead and ask me. Hopefully I gave you kind of a quick summary of how I feel about physical therapy. And who knows, maybe down the road, when I open up one of my facilities, I partner with a physical therapist office or something like that, and maybe I run into a professional I really like and trust, and I would be more than happy to refer, if I have a client come in with a very severe disability or limitation, to refer them to a good PT.